WWE is planning something absolutely massive, and they're teasing it all over their show. Guys, we're going to talk about it in today's video. Don't forget, I'm giving away this championship belt once we hit 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today. Welcome back to the Angle Show. I want to kick things off with some Crown Jewel news. It appears that WWE is back to bringing kickoff show matches. Now, is this a one-time thing? Is this a permanent thing? We don't know, but WWE revealed yesterday during Raw that Sami Zayn will, in fact, go one-on-one with JD McDonough in a match that is confirmed for the kickoff show. And this is interesting, man. It seems like for a while, WWE kind of got away from doing kickoff matches. I know in the past, people used to complain about them. I never really used to complain about them, especially when it was like for WrestleMania or something like that. It always felt like it was a good thing to have a kickoff show because obviously, you know, WWE had so many wrestlers on their roster. Not everybody could be on the show. The kickoff show allowed people to get at least the opportunity to compete in front of more people. And I always thought the idea of a kickoff match should kind of be utilized for somebody who needs the extra exposure. In this case, JD McDonough actually fits that role. Sami Zayn could arguably become the next World Heavyweight Champion. He's got the massive babyface promos. This guy is absolutely on fire. And his storyline with the Judgment Day continues to advance. And obviously, Sami Zayn is willing to fight against that, which has turned into a great storyline. And JD McDonough obviously just creeping his way into the Judgment Day. It's cool to see that this match is going to be on the kickoff show. And for Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough, I think this allows the opportunity for people to watch and be like, wow, JD McDonough is a fantastic wrestler. Oh, you know, like the Judgment Day. See, that's kind of the thing with like the Bloodline storylines, right? Like these massive factions, they need to have somebody that takes the fall. They need the fall guy. And in the Bloodline, Sami Zayn being the honorary Uce was essentially that guy. And the Judgment Day, JD McDonough is that guy. So I don't think this hurts JD McDonough if he loses. I don't think this hurts the Judgment Day at all by having a loss. If anything, it does a lot of really good stuff. And then obviously Sami Zayn being the ultimate babyface picking up the win. I just think overall that's a great idea. Now, the real question, though, is do you guys think the kickoff show matches should return permanently? Because I actually think they should happen, especially because WWE pay-per-views are doing smaller cards, right? Like there are less matches on the cards now, more quality versus quantity, which I think is the right plan. But obviously, it does leave people off the pay-per-view. What do you guys think about kickoff shows? I want to turn our attention to MLW. Lance Anoa'i and Juicy Fanu and Alexander Hammerstone all requested their release from MLW. All three of them had confirmed this. For those who don't know, MLW, I mean, this is a really interesting thing, right? Because Alexander Hammerstone obviously not involved with the Samoan SWAT team, right? And I think a lot of people look at Alexander Hammerstone as a big potential signing for WWE and AEW and TNA, which I can agree with that. Alexander Hammerstone literally being the guy in MLW, he requested his release. I don't know if they actually confirmed his release, but I know he requested it. He confirmed it himself after Fightful put out a report. Lance Anoa'i and Juicy Fanu, they've come out, they've revealed that they've been granted their release. And a lot of people are starting to speculate that maybe this is a situation where they can go on to WWE. This is a tough one. The reality is that I know a lot of people love the Bloodline storyline, and I think everybody kind of looks at it from the perspective of, oh, look, you know, it's a wrestler with the last name Anoa'i, you know, and it's like, oh, they belong in the Bloodline. The thing is with the Bloodline, I don't want to see the Bloodline past WrestleMania 40. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't know if WWE is going to keep it going. They very well could keep it going. That's the reality. The reality is they could definitely keep it going past WrestleMania 40. But I think it's time for Cody to finish the story at WrestleMania 40, and that's it. Move on from it. That would be the right idea. That would be the thing that I want to see. Now, if WWE wants to bring in Lance Anoa'i, Juicy Fanu, if they want to bring him in, put him in NXT, eventually get called up to the main roster, that's cool. I have no problem with that. I think if WWE brings them in just for the idea of them screwing over LA Knight in Crown Jewel, I think that's ridiculous. I don't think WWE needs to do that. And obviously that's what some people are speculating because obviously the Usos have broken up and whatnot. This is going to be something to pay attention to for sure. As far as Alexander Hammerstone goes, I think if there's a company that should be signing him more than anybody, it's TNA. I would love to see Hammerstone in TNA. There's just a lot of matchups I would like to see. But it's interesting that MLW is losing 3 of their guys. And I think it's even interesting that 2 of them are being tied directly to WWE for obvious reasons. I think for MLW, they're like a tricky, slippery slope to figure out. They do some good, they do some bad, but there's some things about MLW, like as a fan watching, they just don't fit my regular programming viewing. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, there's TNA, there's AEW, there's WWE. Then you got to factor in, like the NXTs and the ROHs and then all this other stuff. Like, there's just so much wrestling, and it's like MLW has a pretty sick-ass roster, but there's just something about it where it's like, if I watch it, I watch it. If I tune in, I tune in. I'm not as committed to watching it as I would like to be. And I think this kind of hurts them when you're losing guys like that. And you got to think this is not the first time that they're losing some noticeable guys, because they even lost EJ and Duca, who was the standout from the WWE Performance Center. He got released by WWE. He went to MLW, but now he is in AEW. So that's just something to also keep in mind. Hopefully MLW could just recover from this type of stuff too. And that brings us to our final topic of today's video, guys. Shinsuke Nakamura. He is teasing something massive, and I think WWE has everybody talking. I think WWE has everybody talking, trying to get everybody to not believe it's happening. I mean, Dave Meltzer is coming out and saying CM Punk is not happening. You just got a lot of people who are kind of going against the grain here. I don't think WWE will ever tell you if CM Punk is going to show up in advance. But what I do think is WWE is purposely doing these teases. Now Shinsuke Nakamura drops a hell of a promo on WWE Raw, and during this promo, he's talking about looking for his next sacrifice. And it sounds like WWE is gearing towards an open challenge for Survivor Series for Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, WWE has been doing a really good job of building Nakamura up. If he does an open challenge, there's clearly 2 people that can answer this open challenge with the most amount of logic, and that's Randy Orton. And if it's not Randy Orton, it's CM Punk. And it doesn't really make sense for Randy Orton to be involved in an open challenge with Shinsuke Nakamura, but it would make more sense for Randy Orton to be involved in the War Games match. So ultimately, what will WWE do here, right? That's the question. WWE is clearly dropping these teases. I don't think it's a secret at all that Shinsuke Nakamura is a big part of those CM Punk teases. I think CM Punk versus Shinsuke Nakamura is a safe match for Shinsuke and a safe match for CM Punk in Chicago at Survivor Series. And I think most importantly, Shinsuke Nakamura can afford the loss to CM Punk, so it's not that big of a deal. I love these promos, by the way, with Shinsuke Nakamura. I want to see more of them. I love these teases, but what I will say is WWE isn't the one teasing Randy Orton. WWE is the one teasing CM Punk. If you don't deliver CM Punk in Chicago, regardless if you told people yes or no, he's going to be there, not be there, when you're teasing something and making it that obvious, I know it's not technically WWE's fault, but in a sense it is, because if they're not planning on delivering CM Punk, people are going to boo. And any person that walks out other than CM Punk, they're going to boo. So if WWE goes this route of an open challenge and stuff, I think they got to really hone into the CM Punk teases or stop immediately if CM Punk is not going to be there, because the more teases that come out, the more that it hurts them if he's not there. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, I'm giving away this championship belt at 100K. I appreciate you all for watching. I'll see you next time.